Asunción, Paraguay, a city born from the jungle, carved out of the forest by strong men and revolutionaries. The buildings form a thick tangle, not unlike the Chaco forest to the north. Modern man prides himself on his escape from nature, yet forgets how alike we still remain to our ancient ancestors, the first men. But who are the first men of Paraguay, and what impact do they have on our world today? My name is Nathan Searand, Strand, and for the last 10 years I have lived in Paraguay, studying the many indigenous groups that live here. Their cultures are varied and intricate and have existed here for thousands of years. They are the first men of Paraguay. And yet, in my research, I have come across myths that hint at an even earlier man, legends of Adam and Eve, and the biblical Garden of Eden. During the early 17th century, Jesuit missionaries came to Paraguay to evangelize the indigenous peoples of the land. They founded missions deep in indigenous territory, deep in the harsh jungle. One such mission was the legendary San Ignacio de Samucos. Founded in 1724, it was fraught with violent attacks from wild Ioreos, the original inhabitants of the area. The frequent raids from the Ayoreo Indians forced the Jesuits to abandon the mission. Within a short time, the jungle reclaimed San Ignacio, its location lost to time. Before leaving, the Jesuits recorded in ancient texts the existence of a paradise near the mission. They believed it to be the actual location of the Garden of Eden. Almost more fascinating still are the myths of the ancient Ioreos themselves. They too told stories of a paradise hidden in the same jungle. It is a spot sacred above all others, a place where war and famine didn't exist, and all Ioreo clans lived in harmony. The stories describe it as Erami Gotocore, which in Ioreo means the center of the world. In my research, I have discovered the name of this sacred paradise. They call it Achoi. What is the meaning of this mysterious word? Is it the same place as the Jesuits' Garden of Eden? Where exactly is it located, and how do you get there? The only way to know for sure is to visit a remote Ioreo tribe and ask them what this all means. They live secluded, deep in the Paraguayan Chaco. The journey will be difficult, but well worth it to discover the true meaning and location of Achoi. If I am to find and document this lost paradise, I will need help.
My team and I have sacrificed much for this expedition. Our jobs, time with the family, and all of our money. We have invested our last remaining funds to build a riverboat capable of voyaging into this desolate land. As such, we are the only ones who can uncover this mystery of the Jesuits, the Ioreos, and of Achoi.
We understand the dangers and the risk to our lives. We are headed into the heart of darkness. Puerto Rosario is like all the many other small towns that dot the Paraguay River. It is quaint and quiet, and life here is slow. After a 6-hour bus drive, we find ourselves in this charming town, a pleasant change from busy Asunción.
The filming process for this expedition will be complicated. In this extreme environment, memory cards are likely to fail, cameras will overheat, and water and dust can damage sensitive audio equipment. My name is Zach Sea Strand, and I am the man behind the camera. I have been filming in the Paraguayan jungle for the last 5 years, and the most valuable lesson I've learned is that the jungle never plays nice.
We are all anxious to begin the journey. We make preparations for departure, and our vessel, the Denubio, is restocked and supplied.
Our expedition starts here in Puerto Rosario, Paraguay, and following the ancient Jesuit maps, we will travel far up the Paraguay River, beyond civilization, deep into the wild unknown.
We are now ready and embark on our voyage up the Paraguay River.
The Paraguay River, flowing roughly 2.7 thousand kilometers. It is one of the longest rivers in South America. It cuts the country in half, separating the tame south from the wild Chaco to the north. The current is deceptively swift and is responsible for upwards of 180 deaths per year. Other river hazards include man-eating piranha, cayman, river pirates, floating islands called camalotes, and hidden sand dunes that will wreck your boat without warning.
So the surface under us, it is made of sand, and the sand dunes, they are changing daily. So if you don't have the updated map that someone came up yesterday, then you just go blind actually. You have no idea that it's 10 meter or 40 centimeter, it's always changing. It's always full of wrecks. And now the other thing is that there are these swimming little islands. These are plants called camalotes. And sometimes thousands are coming in the front of you, big ones, like several 10,000s of tons full of trunks, and they are just coming in the front of you, and you have to go through or you have to go around them.
This river is extremely shallow, and navigating the shifting dunes is an art. Radar and the most current navigational charts are vital in order to avoid becoming stranded.
Instead of sailing straight up and down the river, the boats must zig and zag, crossing back and forth from shore to shore, maneuvering the sand maze that constantly changes beneath their hulls. Fortunately for us, our Hungarian captains, Tom and Bence, are the best damn sailors on the river.
The Denubio is the only expedition boat of its kind on this river, or anywhere in the heart of South America. Costing over $150,000, it has been designed specifically for extreme and lengthy expeditions. Sure, the bathroom isn't exactly a 5-star hotel, but I can promise you, the view is worth it.
As we voyage up the river, fishermen occasionally appear. They are semi-nomadic and live in humble riverside communities that survive solely off what the river provides. The Paraguay River is an artery, providing the vital lifeblood that sustains this entire region. Life, death, adventure, all can be found on this river, and our journey is just beginning.
A sudden storm appears out of nowhere, clouding the view ahead. This sudden downpour is common on the river, but also very dangerous. It can mean death if a river barge suddenly appears in front of you.
So now we have like beautiful weather. I can see something, but usually nothing.
But the rain passes just as quickly as it appeared. It is now sunny again and very hot.
Temperatures right now range between 40 and 43 degrees Celsius, which, on a metal surface boat like this, is enough to fry an egg.
But there is no time to try. We've hit a sand dune and are stuck. If we can't dislodge, we'll have to get in the water and push.
It may.
With some sweat and elbow grease, we managed to push ourselves off the dune and go around, continuing up the river.
This is what happened. So it was 5 meters, and then 1 meter, and then 30 centimeters.
Our menu for this voyage is simple. We will eat whatever we fish from the river and whatever Captain Tom whips up in the galley. Today we're enjoying eggs, bread, and mayonnaise salad, with traditional Hungarian paprika, of course.
After a full day's travel upriver, we find a suitable berth for the night. A quick drone flight reveals a fishing community nearby. We have picked a great location to camp. We decide to journey on land to the village, fishing along the way.
In the past, shore fishing would be sufficient to catch all sorts of fish, but today it's almost impossible. The fishing communities almost exclusively fish with nets in the main channel. This shortage of fish is due to increased river contamination and lowering water levels. Unsuccessful fishing. We push forward, looking for the village. Maybe they have some fish that we can buy.
We decided to now try to get to this little village. We can hear music off in the distance. There's a village down this river. So we're following a tiny little trail through the forest to get to this village. Maybe they'll sell us fish, maybe they'll sell us beer. Let's see what happens.
What's
All
going
right,
on?
so we made it into this community. I mean, as you can see, look, these are the houses. This is a little tiny fisherman's community. I would say there's 10 houses here. You can really barely call them houses. They're shacks along the river. These people live very isolated and they just live off fish. So we're gonna see if they have any fish, any beer, anything. He said maybe over there under the ubaramata, which is the tree in Guarani. So let's go see if we can find it.
We quickly become friends with the village leader, who immediately invites us to grilled dogfish.
We did come here. They do have fish. They have dogfish is what it's called. If you look, it's kind of got the face of a dog, long teeth, kind of a nasty eye. They're grilling these up, and these people are very nice. They're very humble. They've actually offered us one of these fish to take back with us. Now, there's a tiny family here living, subsisting on this river. We're obviously not going to take their fish and take their dinner away from them. But what we are going to do is we're going to buy a pack of beer because we can help out the community in that way. So we're going to buy a pack of beer from them. They do sell that. So
After purchasing a cold pack of beer and being introduced to the village pet, a toad named Kururu, we return to the Denubio to spend the first night of many.
So we did not catch anything last night, obviously, as you remember. And then we went to that little tiny village just down, fish are jumping, just down there. And we didn't want to take their last fish. Tiny poor village, we didn't want to take their food because they did offer. So we're up early. It's about 5:50 in the morning. We're up early and we're trying to catch something for lunch today. We need this sustenance so we can have it to be able to go all the way up to the to the north.
With the new day comes new challenges, new adventure, but the objective remains unchanged: to locate the secluded Ioreo village and discover the meaning of the word Achoi.
The immense heat has gotten the best of Bensei, and an unplanned stop is needed to quench his thirst. He's Hungarian, and water is not sufficient. He requires something stronger, a cold beer. If not, he says he won't be able to navigate the dangerous camalotes and sand dunes ahead.
Places exist for a reason. Somebody chose to come here. And we're out in the middle of nowhere. This is a little village, and they've got a dispensa, a place to buy beer. They've got the whole works. And Bensei's telling us, Paraguay's famous for being this spot. It's the world's hideout. Everyone comes to Paraguay to escape from the rest of the world. So you gotta ask yourself when you're in these little towns, why do they even exist in the first place?
After Bensei obtains his beer, Carlos, a local, reveals surprising information.
Entonces la gente que tipo se fundaron en este pueblo eran nazis originalmente.
Sí, los nazis eran.
Sí, según
Y vienen todos acá y fundaron ese lugar donde ellos.
¿Y ellos eran racistas con los paraguayos? ¿O cómo
sí,
era?
Es buena gente, buena gente. Nosotros, buena gente, todos son patrones. Que nosotros cuando ellos viven acá, nosotros vivimos bien.
Okay, so this is the house that they were talking about. No one lives here. This is abandoned. But it's still like manicured. It's upkept. It's very strange. And obviously Bensei, who's European, knows what a German house looks like. We walked by here the first time and he said, that's a German house. So it's very strange. In an old Nazi hideout from years ago, we're finding German houses.
Other traces remain, hinting at this village's unconventional past. The ruins of a brewery are indisputable, the architecture clearly German. This is an example of just one of the many oddities found along the Paraguay River. Be careful where you stop to buy beer, because they may be Nazis.
The river constantly creates new problems, often in unexpected ways. Due to the heavy vibrations of the engine, any object not tightly secured will fall down, including this pot of paprikash. Tom thinks quickly and secures the spicy dish. Crisis averted.
As the late afternoon sun lowers, we find a place to stop for the night, tucked inside a small inlet protected by hundreds of camalotes.
We can't go any further today. We've got to conserve gas. We're here in the middle of nowhere. I really don't know where we are. Tom, where are we right now?
I don't know.
And no one knows.
No, I know exactly, but I mean it's like I have to check the name on the chart because this the indigenous names. Tutturikue, Tutturibababa, doesn't ring me a bell.
After enjoying our dinner, the heat tempts us into the river. Because of the camalotes, this area is filled with snakes, piranha, and cayman. But frankly, we don't care. It's been a long day, and the water is refreshing.
So many. Jeez, they're all around. A lot of people might be wondering how exactly you use the bathroom or take a shower on these expeditions. Well, you're looking at it.
The mbutu fly. These insects are everywhere and have a powerful bite. It's like a mosquito on steroids. And we're spending the night in their home. If we can't get the generator working, then we'll have to sleep with the doors open, exposing us to their attacks all night long.
Well, after hours of trying, we finally got the generator to work. So at the very least, we can have a fan. But look at these bugs. We're in a swamp. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a hot night. We're trying to find something to still fish with. There were some crabs over there. There's some fish down below us. This is very difficult, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we're running out of water. So we're trying to figure out how to make it through the night. It's gonna be a long one.
During the night, the boat settled deeper into the camalotes. We will have to untangle ourselves, all while ensuring the radar equipment remains undamaged.
¿Llegas hasta el fondo? ¿Llegas hasta el fondo? No. We're going. Perfect. Very good. Keep on, keep on.
Plants put up a good fight, but we eventually free ourselves.
So we're getting close now. I've been through this area before. What we need to do is arrive to a small river community a little bit further up. Once we can get there, we can go by land and arrive to the Ioreo community. That is the plan right now.
after a grueling week on the river, we have finally made it to the small fishing village indicated on our map. Here, we will leave Captain Tom with the boat and journey through the jungle to the remote Ioreo village. We ask the locals for directions and soon set off along the long, dusty road heading deep into the Paraguayan Chaco, the second biggest forest in South America. Many associate the term green hell with the Amazon, but in reality it refers to the Chaco. First coined by Swedish explorer Erland Nordenskjöld in his book Indian Life, he says that the Chaco is a green hell where one can only survive with the greatest of difficulty.
And it truly is hell. Temperatures in the summer can reach upwards of 47 degrees Celsius. It is the land of dust and thorns, the land of blood and ash. And it will be our home for the next few days.
Well, the sun is absolutely brutal right now, and we're dying, but we have finally arrived to the Ayoreo community.
This humble village is located on the edge of the forest and is composed of crudely constructed shacks. This people is extremely poor, working on nearby cattle ranches, earning $1 American for every acre they clear of snakes. Some are also contracted to kill the wild animals that attack the cattle.
Okay, so we're entering into the Ioreo village right now. The Ioreos were the most fearsome tribe in the history of Paraguay. Their entire culture was bloodshed and warfare. Now they just kind of live in scraps of forest on the edge of civilization, just trying to survive, but they still have that in their blood, this bloodlust, you could say, but they are warriors, so you always proceed with caution in these areas. So in this particular area, it's a point of interest, because this isn't just an Ioreo village who now live in modern society. As you can see, this is what their houses look like now. They're kind of just like little shacks. Deeper in that forest, which you probably saw in the big shots from the drone, there are still wild, uncontacted Ioreos who live naked, hunt with spears, wear feathers. They live wild in that forest, and they are dangerous. They are an uncontacted tribe. They're the last uncontacted tribe outside of the Amazon basin.
We are now meeting with Lucio, the cacique, their tribal leader. Outsiders are not typically welcome here, and if we wish to do anything on this land, we must first receive his permission. Lucio was raised naked in this forest as a wild Ioreo Indian and has vast knowledge of their ancient customs and stories. This is the reason we have come all this way. When I mention the word Achoi, Lucio becomes quiet. It seems we will have to first earn his trust before he divulges its secret meaning.
Storm's coming.
A storm arrives unexpectedly, threatening to ruin the evening. In an attempt to salvage the situation, we purchase one of Lucio's goats that he sells and offer it back to the community as a show of goodwill.
Ooh.
Word spreads quickly, and everyone is excited to eat.
The Ioreos are a hardened people, their harsh environment influencing all aspects of their lives. The Chaco is angry, and the brutality of this land is real. Here, it is kill or be killed. The Ioreos understand this and respect it. These images aren't shown to shock, but rather to accurately communicate the struggle this community endures every day of their lives.
The Chaco is hell, but for the Ioreos, it is home. They have inhabited this forest for over 1,000 years, and with it, have a connection deeper than we can possibly understand.
This meal is more than just eating food. It is fellowship and community. It is breaking bread. The day is over and we welcome a much-needed rest. I hope tomorrow will finally bring us the answers we've been looking for.
While we sleep, the forest comes alive. Armadillos, pumas, and tapirs roam. There are also jaguars in this area, larger and fiercer than those of the Amazon.
Lucio has organized a hunting party to depart at dawn. He wants us to go with them. If we do, he will tell us the secret of Achoi.
The morning greets us with apprehension. A hunt in the wild Chaco is dangerous. There are savage animals and wild Ioreo Indians. We must be prepared for anything.
Our hunting companions are two Ayoreo men, the sons of the famous Ikevi, an Ioreo who in his youth was captured and exhibited as an animal in the Asuncion City Zoo.
They have brought their hunting dogs, which will help us locate prey in this dense and thorny brush.
The path we are on leads deep into the forest, where the jaguars and wild Indians roam freely.
Every plant is covered in thick thorns that grab at your clothes and cut your skin. It seems everything here is designed to hurt you in some way.
There's just ticks everywhere. I just pulled this out of my stomach.
Lucio shows us where a wild Ioreo collected honey from a tree.
This is an 100% confirmed sign that a wild Indian, a wild Ioreo, passed right through here.
After an hour on the trail, we make it to what will be our base camp. It is the old encampment of the Ioreos. For years, this community lived here, deep in the forest, but due to increased exposure to their uncontacted brothers, they abandoned the camp, moving closer to the forest's edge. The uncontacted Ioreos are dangerous and unpredictable. It's better to leave than risk their lives.
Cesar, ¿qué es esto?
Una pizza de diabetes. Agua.
While looking around, we make two unnerving discoveries. The first is a fresh jaguar paw print, and the second, a human footprint. There's only one person who could have left it: a wild Ioreo.
We begin the hunt. Everyone is on high alert for any signs of danger. In this forest, at any moment, the hunter can become the hunted.
The dogs bark in the distance. They have found something.
We fight our way through the brush. The thorns tear at our arms. The dogs have located something hiding in the ground. It is a tatu poyu, or six-banded armadillo, which has tunneled into the earth to escape the dogs. But the Ioreos are quick and grab it by its tail. The Ioreos don't eat this particular armadillo, so we let it go and continue our hunt.
But it isn't long until we have located another animal. It's another armadillo, but this time a tatu bolita, or southern three-banded armadillo. This type of armadillo is consumable and will be today's meal.
We return to camp and make a fire. The Ioreo's cooking process is very simple. There are no special spices or herbs. They don't even kill the armadillo. They place it, alive, directly on the flame and let the heat do the rest. The harsh reality of living in the Chaco is sometimes tough to understand. It may seem cruel and unnecessary, but these are the ways of this people. Even though we do not agree, we are merely observers. But yes, it is difficult to watch as this little armadillo is cooked alive.
Soon, the food is ready. Roasted armadillo.
The meat is tender and falls off the bone. It's quite good, considering the circumstances. But while we are eating, we realize our water rations are depleting quickly. This heat is suffocating, and we will have to find a solution soon. We have come to the Tajamar, a nearby watering hole, to purify water. This is a dangerous place to be due to animal activity and wild Ioreos. This territory is extremely dangerous. Wild Ayoreos were seen just down that trail. Lucio, the cacique here, saw a man wearing a feather-like necklace and naked with a spear. So this is a known area of an uncontacted tribe here in the Chaco. This is not the Amazon. The Chaco is very dry. Water is literally a matter of life and death here, so we're lucky to even be able to filter this small amount. It tastes okay. It tastes okay.
Dude, how's this rain?
This is like salvation. This is great. Man, it's been a long journey. It's been a long, week and a half now in the Chaco. It's been tough. Yeah, this feels nice.
This purified water will allow us to survive, to continue with our hunt, and to finally discover the secret to Achoi.
water purified, we are going out on one final evening hunt. Barking dogs and a shotgun blast, we run to catch up. Rene has shot a brocket deer and delivers the final blow with his spear. As the deer's final breaths escape its body, we are reminded of the sheer brutality of this land. The Ioreos are survivors and will do whatever it takes to provide for their families and community. This deer's death represents a daily occurrence here in the Chaco. For them, it is neither good nor bad, but a necessity. And as the setting sun falls below the horizon, we find ourselves at the end of our own search. Lucio has arrived at camp and is now willing to talk about Achoi, what it is, and where we need to go to find it. Achoi is an Ioreo word, but it doesn't mean paradise, nor the center of the world. It means salt. Why salt? In the Bible, salt is often used as a means of purification. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed and replaced with a lake of salt. The Jesuits believed that the Garden of Eden was fallen and had become a savage and evil place. Could this be the connection between the Jesuit myths and the Ioreo stories?
The similarities between the two are too much to ignore. Lucio has provided the final piece to this puzzle, not just the meaning of the word, but its location as well. Could this Achoi truly be the location of the Garden of Eden? There's only one way to find out.
We came to the Ioreo village to learn the meaning of Achoi, and we have, but we are left with far more questions than answers. We must return to the river and continue north, deeper into the green hell. What new adventures await us as we go beyond the edges of the map into the wild? The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The place we are looking for does exist, and its name is Achoi.